If you look at a map of Alberta, you might notice something curious. Small and often isolated parcels of crown land dot the landscape. Some are on the border with the United States. Others are almost in the Northwest Territories. One is less than an acre and protects rare bird habitat. Urban populations benefit from nature on their doorstep. If you like massive round rock formations, visit this one. Some of the concretions are 2.5 meters across. These are just a few of the 248 sites collectively called protected areas. These sites also seem to be unique to Alberta. They conserve unique plant, geological, or cultural treasures. They can be used for responsible, low-impact recreation. Others provide critical stepping stones for flora and fauna. A few have amenities such as signs or washrooms. These protected areas were set aside over the past 50 years. They are held in trust for all Albertans and the natural system that they benefit. Unfortunately, not everyone takes the long-term view. Dumping off-highway vehicles, fires, and other disturbances erode the value of these lands. The Stewards of Alberta's Protected Area, or SAPA, is working with the Alberta government to monitor and report on the state of the protected areas. Any visitor can submit a report. This information will be sent to the responsible provincial ministry, as well as being made publicly available. Do you want to help? This video provides an overview on how to submit a report. To help, all you need is a few minutes to watch this video, agree to the terms and conditions, and start sending SAPA information. We suggest watching this video all the way through first, and then going back and watching specific sections afterwards. This is our roadmap for site inspections. On the left-hand side are things you need to know and do. The first thing is to attend training, which you're doing right now. Congratulations! Next, the Stewards of Alberta Protected Area Association is not asking you to volunteer and visit these sites. The reason has to do with safety and legal reasons. Under Alberta's Occupational Health and Safety Act, SAPA is responsible for you if it asks you to volunteer. So SAPA is not asking you to volunteer and visit sites. However, if you do visit, consider sending us a report when you get home. SAPA will not share your name, email address, or phone number. We may share this information with the responsible ministry of the Government of Alberta. Please do not put any personal information in the comment fields, such as a phone number. We cannot guarantee the comments will be redacted for privacy. For 2024, SAPA is only collecting information on the 248 protected areas covered by the Vernar Act. This name is our shorthand for wilderness areas, ecological reserves, natural areas, and heritage rangelands. This may change in the future, but for 2024, it's only Vernar. If you're not sure about the classification of an area, use our interactive map. If you witness an illegal activity or an emergency, do not use the site inspection form to report emergency or urgent matters. Instead, call 911 or the nearest police or RCMP detachment if it is criminal in nature. Significant damage or disturbances are reported via 310 land. For poaching and dangerous wildlife encounters, use Report a Poacher. We have already discussed the first 3 points of the fine print. The current technology does not allow you to revise a submission. If you missed something, you can email the webmaster and request a change. Feel free to submit multiple reports for the same site. For example, if you visit the site every few months. One report is one visit at one time to one location by one person. SAPA reserves the right to modify submissions to meet its reporting standards. Nevertheless, every valid report received will be given to the responsible ministry. So what happens if your site inspection reports don't fit this model for reporting? Contact SAPA to discuss the options, including sending your report directly to the ministry responsible. Enough of the fine print. Let's talk about site visits. the site inspection form can be accessed from the SAPA website homepage, or as a submenu under Protected Areas. It is also linked frequently throughout the website. There are 6 elements on the form, including a manual process for images. There are 33 questions across the 6 areas. This may seem like a lot, but most people can fill in a report in about 10 minutes or less, once you're familiar with it. Many of the questions are required. If you try to submit without providing an answer, you will get this error message. Most of the required questions allow you to choose options such as none noted or not applicable if your visit does not quite fit into the form's questions. You may notice that each question is numbered. This is so the data from site reports are comparable across multiple years. If a question is retired, we will also retire the number. The general information section collects who you are, where you went, and when. If you think you'll submit a few reports, email the webmaster to have your name added to the drop-down. Otherwise, complete the guest fields with your name and phone number. If you are a government-appointed steward, please indicate this. Question 31, Naturalness, is about your impression of the site. What did you think of it? For you, a score of 4 might mean no obvious human disturbances, and a 0 score is a scene of devastation. Values of 1, 2, or 3 are points in between these extremes. Try to be consistent across the sites in applying the score, but it is your impression. Be sure to put a few lines in the comments field to explain your choice. These questions are about why you went and how long you were there. What motivated you to visit? You may be taking the kids out to enjoy nature, planning a fall hunting trip, or photographing flowers. All of these are great reasons. Let us know what motivated you to head out. If you use a mapping application, please send us the route, or at least a screenshot. Some protected areas have amenities such as washrooms or a parking lot. Were there signs? How is the fencing? And do you have any other observation? If you subscribe to iNaturalist, did you upload anything? Examples of a geological observation might be a new river channel or a hillside slump. A disturbance might be a permitted or an illegal activity. A local farmer may have a grazing lease on the site. You don't need to know whether something is allowed or not. Reporting it is enough. Not all activities are destructive. This section includes things like photography, mushroom collecting, or hiking. If you see people engaged in these activities, note it. Other activities might leave tracks or structures. In your opinion, what should be done, if anything? Examples are listed and include signs, cleanup, or new fences. If you're a designated steward, perhaps you have done some of these activities. Be sure to list them in the comments. Keep an eye out for potential local stewards, such as neighbors. Photos are challenging for SAPA for technical reasons. If you're registered as a regular contributor and you have a Gmail account, you can be given access to a G drive. Otherwise, email the photos to the webmaster for processing. A quick note on file names for the images. Please name them as indicated here. This basic information lets us know where and when it was taken, and by whom. If you use an image processing application and can apply a watermark with this information, this is acceptable as well. What is the subject of the photo is just as important as where and when it was taken. If you're identifying a plant or an animal, include it in the file name. If you know the scientific names, great, but this is optional. Please try not to include the faces of people unless you have their permission. The final question, any last words, is if you want to mention something not covered elsewhere pertaining to your site visit. If you're happy with the information, hit the submit button at the bottom of the page. But if you missed a required field, the form will let you know. To recap, attend training. Agree to the terms. Only the Vernar Act for 2024. Enter who you are and where you went. What did you think and what did you find in the site, good or bad? What needs to be done? Send pictures and hit submit. So what happens next? SAPA is working with the Alberta government to collect site inspection information. At a minimum, an annual report will be sent to the ministers responsible. The document shown on the screen right now was sent to the 2 ministers responsible for the protected areas. It was the first such report of hopefully many. You can find this report on the SAPA website in newsletter number 50. Beyond the government, SAPA will make site inspection data publicly available to researchers, academics, conservation organizations, anyone interested in it. Noteworthy reports may be transformed into a post. These are interim mini-reports. These posts are available on the website and will be shared on our social media and newsletter. How can you help SAPA safeguard Alberta's protected areas? Firstly, visit sites and send us reports. If you're a regular submitter, register and it will save you time. Find a computer mentor if you need technical help completing the form. Offer to help with editing or produce videos, such as this one. Finally, start thinking about 2025. How can we make reporting on a site visit even easier for you to submit?